Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sweat Strategy and Success. I'm your host, Soleil Rain, and I'm super excited about this conversation today because we are going to be talking about entrepreneurship and what I wish I would have known before I started to be entrepreneurial. I think a lot of people out there jump into entrepreneurship opportunities before they're ready, including myself. And I want to talk about my own journey and what I wish I would have known before I jumped into these opportunities. I really hope this conversation today is enlightening and motivational to the people who are listening to it because entrepreneurship can bring you freedom. It can bring you money if that's what you want. It can bring you joy and fulfillment for doing something that you love. There's so many incredible things about entrepreneurship, but I think you have to start from the right place. And I hope that this conversation today can get you there and you know where to start from now on. I'm super excited, so let's get started.
Sounds correct.
It is a gorgeous day outside today. I'm currently living in Mexico, and right now, where I'm at during this time of the year, it's super humid and hot. And I'm currently in a room with no air conditioning wearing a long sleeve t-shirt because it was the only good t-shirt that I could find to record this episode in. So wish me luck. If you start seeing sweat dripping down my face, you know why. I have this love-hate relationship with the humidity because it just, you feel sticky all the time and it's just like so unbearably hot. But also, it's so good for your skin, so good for your body, and say lovey. Anyways, let's get started. So I graduated from Gonzaga University in 2021 with a communications and digital marketing degree. With that degree, there was so many things that I could do with it, and it made it difficult for me to decide what I wanted to do. It wasn't like I had a aerospace engineering degree where it was more clean cut of like where I was going to go after school. So having a communications and digital marketing degree and with my goals of wanting to travel after I graduated from university led me to doing freelancing work. And this was the start of my entrepreneurial journey. When I first started freelancing, I didn't really need that many clients because living in Spokane, Washington, it was really cheap, especially in the area that I was living in, which was the university area. I was paying $500 a month for rent. I only needed to make maybe $2,000 a month, which was incredible. I wish life was that cheap all the time, but alas, it is not. And that's okay. But I only needed one or two clients at that time in order to afford the lifestyle that I was living. And so it was pretty easy. Now, this is a great opportunity for a lot of people, but the part that I was missing out on was the learning opportunity that you do get from having a team of people around you. There's so many resources nowadays. If you want to do literally anything on YouTube, there's courses. So that was what I was doing in order to make sure that I was getting clients for my freelance business. And it was a little bit difficult. I had to learn on my own and I really had to put in the effort. And a lot of freelance marketing has to do with technical skills. So I spent a year without a team or without a direct marketing mentor. And it was a great opportunity, but I really wish I had a team to learn this stuff with. I think being on social media nowadays has shown us that there's a lot of people out there who are pursuing their own businesses, their own dreams, their own joys. And I think that is so absolutely incredible. But as we all know, we always see the good part of things and we don't see the hard and bad part of things. So I think entrepreneurship is this really amazing goal that people could have, but we're basing our understanding of entrepreneurship based off of what we're seeing from other people on the internet. That's why I wanted to talk about this on this episode because there's so much that people don't tell you about when it comes to the hard things of being an entrepreneur. When it came to my freelancing business, I honestly just didn't know enough. I was just getting out of school and While I loved my time at university, I didn't learn the technical skills of marketing that is necessary for freelancing. I wish that I would have gone into a 9 to 5 after I had graduated from school. Maybe it was remote, so then I had the ability to still be a little bit flexible. But then I would have had a team of people around me to learn about these technical skills, and if I had questions, there was people there. And so almost all of this I had to teach myself. But one of the best pieces of advice that I got was learn with other people's money. Okay. So what does that mean? What does it mean, learn with other people's money? When you are trying to build skills, especially skills such as gaining clients and being able to work on a team and learning how to be out in the real world, learn with other people's money, get paid to do it. Because when I was freelancing, nobody was really paying me to learn these skills, especially in gaining clients. I had to do that for free, $0, reaching out to people in order to make sure that I was making the income necessary to support my lifestyle. And so $0, learn with other people's money. It is not the end of the world to have a 9 to 5, especially after you graduate from college. What's awesome about this too is that this is actually a very good entrepreneurial tool to know as well. Using other people's money is a skill used across all business, including the top 1%. So what the 1% does is they invest a bunch of money into stocks. And instead of pulling money out of those stocks once they make money, what they do is they actually leverage against it in order to pull out loans to fund different business ideas. They do not use their own money, and I don't think you should be using your own money either. That's just one example, right? Which is leverage. Leverage is essentially using borrowed capital or debt to increase the potential return on an investment. Some other things that companies may do in order to make money is having investors. This could be angel investors, crowdfunding, venture capital, private equity, etc. Another one is partnerships, utilizing money from a partnership with another company in order to potentially grow both of your brands. So the moral of the story here is learn your skills with other people's money. Now let's jump back to when I got my first big girl job in San Diego. My first big girl job in San Diego was being a freight broker. If you don't know, a freight broker is somebody who is the in-between for companies and truckers, essentially, to move goods across the United States. As the in-between person, you essentially connect these companies in order to make sure that goods can get from one place, which is usually your supply warehouse, something of this sort, to another supply house where it gets then distributed to other retailers. So Target, Walmart, Vons. I grew up with Vons in California, etc. So what did that look like for my day-to-day? So I was on the carrier side. So what that means is that I was talking to truckers and their dispatchers all day. And I was trying to sell them a certain price for taking a company's good from point A to point B. I will say that this was a difficult job for me because truckers and dispatchers can be mean. I'm just going to say it frank, they can be mean. And they get to be mean because they're the ones that provide you with the luxury of access that you get when you go to Target. You want the next big Sephora product. Thank a trucker for getting that good from wherever its original place was to your local Sephora. Go thank a trucker. They get to be mean. And I was the person who was calling them every day to see if they wanted to take these goods from one place to another, and I was the one who was selling it to them. Now, this is a really fantastic job, and people can make a lot of money in this job if they make the right connections and they build the right relationships with these truckers, their companies, etc. Okay, 2 issues. I wasn't very good at this because I am a softie and I have a hard time pushing back. 2, the industry at the time was really difficult. This was 2022 going into 2023, and the logistics industry was under a lot of pressure. It was really expensive to get goods moved, and truckers did not like the prices that people were willing to give to them to send goods from one place to another, because essentially they would be losing money. And the business of logistics is a little bit more complicated, but all of that to say it was not a good time to get into the industry. And I was working my ass off to make sure that I was making my quota. So I had to make 100 calls a day to different truckers and dispatchers And it was a lot of work. 100 calls a day is constantly picking up the phone, constantly. And also constantly hearing no and constantly being put into situations where I had to solve problems. Because let me tell you right now, in the logistics industry, there were always problems every day. There is a specific team at the company that I worked at that was just meant for solving problems. But okay, why are you telling me this? What's so important about this job as a freight broker? You got laid off after 4 months of working there. Why was this so special? The reason why I'm talking about this is because this is probably the most important job that I've had. It taught me skills that I would not be able to learn anywhere else. I've been learned how to hear no, and that has allowed me to take on so many of my goals. So for example, starting this podcast, I have to reach out to people a lot and very frequently. Before this podcast, I was working on a series with chefs and interviewing them. Had to reach out to a lot of chefs. Was told no. That's okay. Next person. This was such an important job for me, and I would not take back this 4 months that I worked at this company for my life. It was not for me. I could not do it for a long time, but I learned so many skills. And another one was problem solving. I talked earlier about how I was constantly needing to problem solve, and needing to problem solve on the spot is another skill that was so important. I can problem solve despite how difficult it may seem. It's just step by step. Accomplish the most difficult thing first, and then just keep doing that until the problem is solved. And I promise you the problem will be solved. I also got to learn a lot about logistics, which was super interesting because even if you don't realize it, there are so many people who are behind you having the luxury of access that you have in the United States. And it's so important to understand and appreciate the people who put in this work. And all of that to say, that job taught me skills that now make me money today. Don't be afraid to go get a 9-to-5. If we can start de-influencing goods, then we can start de-influencing the entrepreneurship lifestyle. It looks incredible. I want to be an entrepreneur one day. I think it's an incredible opportunity for freedom and joy and love and money. In order to manifest a certain life for yourself, you have to be able to take the first steps in order to get there. I really hope that you can get there. And if you are somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur, this is something that is a hard journey. It can be a worthwhile journey, but it's a hard journey. Don't be tricked into thinking that it's easy. Don't be tricked into thinking that you're alone. Know that there are other people out there who are on this journey with you and also want you to succeed. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I love doing this kind of work. And thank you for listening to another episode of Sweat Strategy and Success. This is allowing me to learn more, allowing me to build more skills. Talking in front of a camera is not the easiest thing for me. If I could show you the amount of retakes that I take on this thing, oh my God, you'd probably be embarrassed for me. But when you like, save, or subscribe this, you are helping me fulfill my dreams, and let me know if you'd like to hear more about this, what topics you like to hear about, and talking about your own journey too. I want to make this a safe space where people can feel like they're not alone. So please comment, share, like, subscribe, talk to me. I am so excited for your journey, and thank you for listening to another episode of Sweat Strategy and Success. Bye. Also, quick note, I talked about how sweaty I was going to be by the end of this episode. Look at that. I am glistening and I am hot. The back of my neck, you could probably put a towel back there and soaking wet. Anyway, hope you all enjoy another beautiful, beautiful day, and I love you all. Bye.